Chat, today we have 16 different HRT changes that half of you all have provided me, half I came up with my own. I made enough videos about my HRT changes. Why not milk it a little bit more, right? We have 16 different changes that we're gonna go through today, and we're gonna rank them on a scale from S to F, basic tier list stuff. Nothing unique there. I will say, HRT has been nothing but a positive journey. Therefore, you could essentially fit this entire tier list into S tier. Just because something is F tier does not mean that it's bad. That's the first thing. Some things, you know, might be a little annoying to deal with, but I'm going to do my best to not just overcrowd the S and A ranks. They're gonna be the most popular ranks because HRT changes are just amazing. I'm gonna do my best to even it out, to put all 16 changes not in the top ranks. That's the word. It's all S tier, it's all S tier. Everything on HRT is S tier. This includes not only estrogen, but progesterone, right? Yes, it includes pretty much my entire HRT journey and others' HRT journeys. It's just the changes that we've had since starting HRT. I am personally on 8 milligrams of estrogen and 200 milligrams of progesterone both daily. Some others are going to be on less than me. Some others are going to be on T blockers, you know, Spiro, Cipro, where if you're not in the United States. I will point out when a change is made by someone in the community. And in the video, I will show the Discord message explicitly. Okay, chat, first change. Very minor one. How many of you all have got this one? So body odor decrease was one of the very first things that I noticed. And it's nice, don't get me wrong, I like body odor decrease. But like, is it the most monumental change in all of estrogen and all of HRT? Maybe not, but it's inoffensive. It's inoffensive, it's nice, and for now, I think that B stands for body odor. I think it's good. I think whenever it comes to HRT changes, that it's middle of the road. I think it's good. But I think most changes are good. I think it's on like the low end of good. So we're going to stick it in like high B tier. I'm not going to be ranking the individual tiers. Like we're not going to rank every single individual change. We're just going to kind of group them. But I think B is a good place for it. High B, sure. Yeah, high B is good enough for it. We like high B. However, a change that I know everybody will enjoy, or a change that I enjoy, maybe not everybody, but a change that I enjoyed. B does not stand for boobs. The S in boobs, S tier. This is the highest of S tier. This is the best change. Chat, I got double Ds from HRT. There's been so many times whenever I used to have D cups that we love the chat being spammed with boobs, huge. There were so many times that when I had D cups and I would talk about it, everybody would be like, oh, I think you got your captions wrong. I think you meant to type B. No. I typed boob, or I typed D cups for a reason. But now they're double D, and it's hard to get that one like mixed up auditorily. But yeah, HRT gave me double Ds. Yippee. All of you want them get all the boobs. I want all the boobs. Boob. Oh god. Yeah, we love boobs. Boobs are an S tier. These are the top change. These are the change I was going in most excited for. If I got like next to nothing else, but I just got boobs, I would have been happy. But I got many other changes. We got 14 more to go. This video is gonna be 40 billion years long. Okay, next change. Decrease the body hair. This one's good. However, again, every single change in this tier list is good. Nearly every single change in this tier list is good. However, for my personal ranking, I am going to leave it in B tier. I'm going to leave it in B tier. I think that B tier is a good place for it. In fact, all of these are amazing changes. I love having decreased body hair. Body hair gives me dysphoria. However, that being said, I am going to move it to C. I am going to move it to C tier. On the basis of, if I get dysphoria from it, I can always just shave. And two, Chad, I'll be so honest, women with hair, hot. Sorry, if you don't think so, if you think body hair is gross on others, maybe do a little bit of self-searching. That's all I'm gonna say. I am very thankful for this change. Don't get me wrong. I want this change. Just because it's C tier does not mean I don't want it. I want this change. In fact, I want it so much I might leave it in B, because it's like, I don't think it's necessary, but it alleviated a lot for me. So we'll leave it in B. We'll give it to B. We'll give it a B tier. It bothers me so much. It bothers me so much whenever like how society treats women having to be without hair, or like femme individuals in general having to be without hair. The hair is hot. God forbid. God forbid that we exist how we are. Long bacon, I'm a lesbian. That's a change I can't believe I didn't put on the list. Well, quick like bonus for those in stream and, you know, those making this part of the video. HRT made me gayer. That is an S tier change. I can't believe I forgot that one, but we're too far gone. I don't feel like making another graphic right now. Let me just like, I have an image for this. I can improvise. I don't gotta make another graphic. Hopefully. Is that a lesbian flag? Basically that, don't worry. Yeah, HRT made me gayer. HRT made me gayer. It made me more of a lesbian. Huge change, giant change. Okay, what else we got? Decreased cold resistance is the first one that was suggested by someone in the Discord. Rose was the one who prompted the idea of decreased cold resistance being a thing. I hadn't paid that much attention, but the more that I thought on it, yeah, I mean, like, I hurt from the cold now. I like the feeling of feeling cold, but I think it is objectively at least a low C, but I think it's a high F. Because the next change that was proposed by Infinidoge is decreased heat resistance, which, holy, that could get its own tier. That can rot. I'm so good. I think that decreased heat resistance, which I didn't get. Thankfully, I did not get decreased heat resistance, but if I did, that would be the worst change that I got total. The heat is horrendous. I'm good. I don't mind feeling cold. I hate feeling heat. Also known as debuffs. Yeah, these are the debuffs. That's what the F stands for, is debuffs. Okay, what's next? Smaller shoe size. Smaller shoe size is an interesting one. I think it is the perfect example of a B tier though. Unfortunately, I want to put something into C and A, but this is the perfect example of a B tier because yes, it's great. I can find more shoes because I shrink 3 US shoe sizes or 4. I can't remember. What did I say? However, comma, I didn't realize that for a while. And I hurt my feet very badly by walking in shoes that were 3 sizes too large for me. So I think this one has, if you properly care for it, could be an A tier because it's more fashion options for myself at the very least. Overall, I think it's a B tier because of the harm it gave me individually. And I think that harm is transphobic. Dare I say. Okay, chat, next change. We move on. We move on from shoe talk. This is not the correct placement. It looks funny because it's in the dead center, but let's move it. I lost 4 inches in height. Let's not pay attention to what else this could look like. This couldn't mean anything else. For me, because my height was a major source of my dysphoria, that's an S tier. That's an S tier for me. I went from 6'3" to 5'11". So the fact that I am now under 6 feet, huge win. We love this. However, do not go into HRT expecting to lose height, to this degree especially. I lost 4 inches of height in 2 years. The typical max is about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches. What are we doing now? Hyperphantasia. Okay, chat, first off, if you don't know what hyperphantasia is the opposite of aphantasia. If you don't know what aphantasia is, it's the opposite of hyperphantasia. I'm glad we could clear this one up. Hyperphantasia is an A tier. I can extremely vividly imagine anything that I want. I can imagine in a multitude of senses. I can rotate it, I can flip it, I can invert it, I can do whatever the f I want to anything. To the point where I can physically, not physically see it, but like feel as if I'm physically seeing it, you know what I mean? There have been times that I have overstimulated myself from listening to a song too loudly in my brain. However, there is the downside of it also makes my nightmares extremely vivid. Therefore, I don't think it's the best change in the world, but I think it's cool and I like it and I'm happy I have it. It helps me do like creative stuff a lot easier. But I think A tier is a perfect tier for that. This was given to me by progesterone, specifically, I should say. I talked about this in my Is Progesterone Worth It video, but progesterone essentially gave me a brain that can imagine anything, which I'm so thankful for, but God does it have its drawbacks sometimes, unlike the ones in the S tier. Granted, decreased body hair and body odor decrease don't have any drawbacks. I just like hyperphantasia more. It's funnier. It gives me more content for stream and videos. Therefore, it helps me with my job, so I'm biased. I'm biased. Next one, chat. This one I didn't experience, but I'm gonna rank it as if I did, and that is an increased resistance to heat. I think that my heat resistance is about the same, if not maybe a little worse. I think that increased heat resistance is, I think that's an A tier. I think that's an A tier. This one was suggested by Sax in the Discord. It's cool. I mean, like, that's good. That's a good thing, just objectively, right? I can't say anything bad about it. I didn't get it. If I were to get it, there were some that I would prefer over it. So I don't think it quite makes S tier, but in a heartbeat, I would take this. I would love it. Still missing double jump and transgender beam attack? Rose, we're getting to them. We got 6 more items. Transgender beam and double jump have to be there, right? Next change, chat. Mental clarity. Mental clarity is, next to boobs, the easiest S tier for me. Yeah, it's the list is top weighted. Oh well. I said I wasn't gonna do it, but it just turns out that there's a lot of good changes. Mental clarity was the very first change that I noticed about a month on HRT. It's made my world brighter, more vivid. I feel like I'm no longer seeing through a TV static filter is the way that I like to describe it. It's made me be able to feel my emotions more. I'm able to happy cry for the very first time in my entire life. And there is nothing more fulfilling than a happy cry, I swear to God. It has overall just made me feel more correct in my body so that I can properly feel how the world is meant to be experienced. This is the best change I've gotten in HRT. I love boobs. Yeah, I was about to get to it, Heron. I love boobs, but honestly, mental clarity saved my life. Boobs saved my life too, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, life cold and hard, titty warm and soft. But mental clarity did physically save my life. Therefore, I think mental clarity is the best change on the entire list. This list, like someone on Estrogen, very top heavy. Thank you, Heron. I said it's like a bunch of bees, and then the bees go, boop. You know, they're gone now. They're not entirely gone. I got ADHD, but like the mental fog, gone. The bees, a little bit quieter. The TV static, no longer there. It is the single best change I've ever gotten from HRT. It is a thing that made me certain that HRT was correct for me, to recognize the mental changes that you go through, the happiness that it gives you, and the physical world of difference that you get from simply being able to process things in a better way. It is, as an understatement, it is life-changing. Socially comfortable. This was a change that was brought up by Rose in the Discord. I might be a little biased. My job is this. So my job is very public-facing focused. Therefore, I do need to be very socially comfortable. I need to be able to be confident in myself. I need to be able to make a tee-hee-ha-ha funny and be able to pick myself up whenever I'm like down in a social scenario. HRT did also greatly increase this for me to a very heavy degree. That being said, I think I could get by even if I didn't get the increase. I think it would be a lot harder. But I think that A tier, high A tier, is a very, 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 very good place for it. Because I'm able to actually be myself, you know, not only just streaming, but, or like, you know, making videos, but also like talking to my friends, being in person. I don't like get nervous going outside of around here, you know? I don't get nervous going outside in a public area that I feel safe in, right? Around here, I don't feel safe. So like, you know, my safety is in danger. I kind of made an entire video about that. But like when I went to Melbourne, when I went to Vancouver, I felt perfectly fine being outside. It didn't bother me at all. I actually really enjoyed it. It was really nice. I liked being social. I liked talking to others. It was actually really cool. I don't know if I've talked about it on a stream before, but Prisma and I, when we were in Vancouver, got to personally talk to someone who was Palestinian and like get to hear about their experience, you know, stuff they've gone through about the ongoing genocide, and just, you know, get further information and like hear a firsthand account because of that social comfortability that, like, you know, I got from HRT. I was able to do that very, very comfortably. And it was a very like important conversation that I'm very, very thankful that I got to have. Let's go to the next change. Softer skin. Softer skin is yet another A tier. It is just so nice. Like, yeah, honestly, softer skin, as for softer skin, as for softer skin, one of my favorite changes I've ever gotten. I don't remember the roughness of my skin, like what it used to be, but all I know is I can feel my arm now and it feels like a pillow, and I'm very happy. It's just so nice. It is so, like, what's the word? Like the opposite of overstimulating in a positive way. That's the way I describe it. Softer skin is huge. Amazing change. Recommend it for everybody. Softer skin is so nice, especially like after a fresh shave of like the body. I'm just saying, soft shaved thighs, chat. God censored. That's all I'm saying. Also, more sensitive skin should be included in this. Yeah, I mean, the reason that softer skin does occur on HRT is because your skin is physically getting thinner. So it will cause your skin to be a little more sensitive. But I think that trade-off is so worth it. Like, yeah, sure it's thinner, but God, I can feel a pillow on my arm now. Yippee yippee. I'm putting an S tier. This is my tier list, and nobody can stop me. Chat, I think we're finally gonna have our very first C tier. Decreased spice tolerance. I think this objectively has to be in either C or F. I don't think it's as bad as like heat and cold resistance being worse, because I can still enjoy spicy foods. I'm just upset that I can't enjoy more of them. This change was brought by PANR, Post-Apocalyptic News Radio. I love spicy food so much, my tolerance did go down. I think that it would be an F tier if not for cold and heat already being in F tier. I think it is substantially more manageable to deal with than those, and I think that it deserves to be in a higher tier than those. I don't know. I don't like it. I wish I could experience more spiciness, but in a worst case, I can't avoid cold and heat. In a worst case, I can just not eat something spicy. Therefore, I think C tier is very safe for this one. Next change. I think all the remaining changes are from the Discord. Stops receding hairline. This one was also from Rose in the Discord. There's gonna be a little bit of my bias on this one. If this was something that I was worried about, this would be the highest S tier, because I love my hair. If this was like, I was worried about, like, you know, losing hair, the hair thinning, but it was never a genuine worry because that's not something that my genetics has anything to do with. But it is substantial enough that even though it was never a worry for me, and this was not something I experienced because I didn't go through the receding of a hairline, it is a high A tier even, purely because of how fundamentally monumental that could be in stopping dysphoria. That was an OCD fear of mine for a long time, was what if my hair would recede, even though it wasn't based in realism. If it was based in realism, this would be the highest S tier. That is the only reason it's A, is because I did not go through it. And because I'm trying to make the list not just all be an S. God forbid. And I'm happy to put this one in A purely because it was not a worry that I had. It is my tier list after all. I get to do what I want with it. You all can deal with that if you don't like it. Lamau. Second to last change, we're getting there. Wavier hair. This is one that was suggested by Rose yet again. I'm happy leaving it in B. It's not one that I noticed too heavily if it did, but I do like it. Wavy hair is really nice. It's also a pain to take care of compared to straight hair. It's nice. I like it. It's good. I think B tier is a very, very solid pick for this one. I love my hair. I've shown my hair off a lot. I love how my hair looks. It's very nice and wavy. I don't know if I've always had wavy hair, but I have very wavy hair. Not even the hair remains straight, nothing about me is straight. Last change, wider hips. I think that wider hips, high A, I think is a good place for it, but I'm gonna put it in low S. It's gonna go in S tier. The only reason that I say high A was debated is because it does have the downside of making it a little bit harder to sleep. However, that bodily change, for sure. I love how my body looks. I can look in a mirror and be happy with what my body looks like for the first time in my entire life. Part of that is because my hips are wider, therefore S tier. But we did it all, yippee, yippee, yippee. Just to recap really quickly where we're sitting at. For the S tier, we have boobs, obviously. Gayer, decrease in height. I swear to God, it's height. I swear to God, it's height. An increase in mental clarity, softer skin, wider hips, and in A tier, we have hyperphantasia, an increased heat resistance, more socially comfortable, and a decrease or stopping of receding hairlines. In B tier, we have body odor decrease, decreased body hair, smaller shoes, and wavier hair. In C tier, we have a decreased spice tolerance. In F tier, we have a decreased cold tolerance and a decreased heat tolerance. I would say that every single one of these changes were positive except for the bottom three. That's why it was so hard to rank these, because I never wanted to put anything below average in my brain if it wasn't actually bad. And the only three bad things that came out of HRT were these three. So use this tier list as you will, use my changes as you will to understand what could happen to you if you want to get on HRT and see what kind of changes might come your way as well. Yippee yippee, trans rights, yippee yippee. And that's a tier list. Thank you all so much for watching. I know this one took a little bit longer to get out. When do they not anymore? but it is the longest video I've ever made, and I had a really fun time making it, and I really hope you all enjoyed it as well. If it wasn't completely obvious, this video was recorded live over on my Twitch, where a lot of my videos will be recorded from now on. So if you want to catch the extended version of videos, head over there and catch me when I'm live. As always, I want to thank my Yippee tier YouTube members and tier 2 and tier 3 Twitch subs for making videos like this possible. Evie the Evie, River Champion, Lily, Prisma Mirage, Haymarket Riot, Dylan 2600, W Tuck Tuck 456, Yo Baron, I Can Dig It, Sacksmith, Calvari, Natalie Wise 23, Scarrow DJ, Zohar Contact, Willow on TV, EP Hannah, Loop is Somewhere, Ellie Bunny Cute, Wild Pikachu level 666, Alk2, Larry 4, Jarena Nessa. Thank you all again so much for watching. I hope to see you all soon, and if you haven't heard it yet today, I'm proud of you.